Hello, and welcome back to Blood Bowl. It's just me today, and maybe the occasional sounds of my neighbour's rooster, because my match is against the AI this week. But first of all, let's just catch you up on what's been going on. So last week, we can see my 2-1 victory over Holly's Rats. Elsewhere, Aristef's Dark Elves, they won 4-0, which actually catches them up on the touchdown difference gap that they had with me. So going into this week, we're actually exactly level on touchdown difference and touchdown scored. The Bretonians managed to get their first win against the Lizards, who are taking a beating. Just nothing would go right for the Lizards, and there were a lot of blocks thrown by the Bretonians. Also, the Chaos team only managed a 1-0 win against the AI, which is partly due to just appalling luck. It was a turn 15 touchdown, I think it was, and even then, just the ball was not going their way. But if we go to my team, I got no level ups last match. It was a tough match, but because of the situation of my experience, no one was quite in a position to reach the next level. Now, I did have enough spare money after rolling 6, so I decided I would spend it on buying another thrower. And that was for 2 reasons. I decided that if my main thrower gets injured, that I need a backup, and also she would come in useful for today's match. And also, if I didn't get her now, then it starts getting to the point when it's going to be the end of the league and she won't have time to get any experience anyway. So it was kind of a now or never situation. So we've got Anaya, the Queen of the Stars. And I'm going to use today, as it is against the AI, to maybe talk through some of my moves a little bit more and explain a bit more about the game's mechanics, because so far I've been working on the assumption that people have been knowing what's going on vaguely, partly so that I could just keep going along and I could start chatting to my opponent. But today, because it's just me, there's going to be quite a bit of time when I'll just be able to keep talking, and I'll tell you a bit more in depth about what's going on and why I'm doing it, hopefully. So, the human team, actually, we'll just quickly look at the human team muster at it. Human team has been decimated. Not my team. We want the human team. Just about every opponent that the human team has faced so far has managed to injure or kill one of their players, to the point that this is all that remains. And you can see that there are gaping holes in their lineup, and with only 20k to buy new players with, there are spaces. Now, because you have to have a minimum of 11 players to play a match, the game will give them some temporary players that will be their basic bog standard linemen, but with the penalty of also being loner, which is it's a skill, but it's really a debuff, where if you want to use a reroll, you have to pass a roll check first in order to actually be able to use the reroll in the first place. Because they've got no affiliation with the team, they don't really feel any kind of bond with their teamwork, so they're a loner. So their team value is 880 at the moment, plus probably a bit more with a couple of journeymen. My team value is 1,400, so that's currently giving away 520 points of team value, which the humans are probably going to buy some star players with. So depending on who they buy, I'll be able to tell you a bit more about them, but let's start this match. Now, having the lowest team value, I am not going. Having highest team value, I have no petty cash to spend, so I'm just going to skip. The opposing team will be doing theirs. They've got 3 journeymen. Okay, they've gone for the Halfling Master Chef again in a repeat of the Hobbit match, and the Bloodwiser Babe, which is going to help them when their players get knocked out to roll, require a low roll for them to recover. That's interesting, which means that I don't have to face a star player, which means I don't have to talk about chainsaws or any funny business like that. But 3 journeymen then. So that means is that just a straight up team of 11 players? But it might mean that I'm going to be down my rerolls, which is okay, not ideal. I'm planning on some interesting strategies against the AI. And in the passing game, I've got players that will have abilities that will help them with their rerolls. I was hoping to save the rerolls for the tackling game. So here we are, it's a humans home match. And my line of ladies. So the toss says that I don't win again. The humans gain one of my rerolls, so I've got 2. That's alright. 2 could be a lot worse. So it does mean that I am kicking in the first half, which is fine. I would have liked to have received if I won the toss. What it does mean, though, is to plan accordingly. Now, so they've got their big ogre, but they don't have anyone really vicious up front. Now, I'm going to go slightly aggressive with my formation and have everyone up front because I want to steal the ball as quickly as possible and use it to score some touchdowns. So what we'll do is we'll have one half, one behind the line, and one half on the line. And there is a reason for that. There is a certain event that means that players who aren't on the line get a free turn. So if that happens, then they'll be able to move. Otherwise, these two are ready to pounce. And these are all of my blitzers, which I'll tell you a bit more about. We've got my throwers, my catchers, and my line women on the bench. In fact, I'll take the one that has guard and put her in, as these 3 don't have any extra abilities. And if I position this fine, we have guard, block. Okay, needs to be guard in the middle, the 2 with block on the side. The guard on the inside, which helps guard the one on the outside. Okay, so we'll go with this. It means that I've got a big space in the empty backfield, but I don't rate their chances of being able to utilise it. Also, there's a rule, these sidelines, you're only ever allowed 2 players in the side, and you have to have a minimum of 3 on the centre line. But besides that, you can position players anywhere you want. So, they've gone for an up-front strategy as well. Now, the reason why I wanted to receive first, as I'm going to click this long, the reason why I wanted to receive first is because I would get to go first and I'd get to do my tackles in first. Hey, I get my reroll back. cheering fans. The fans love me. Yeah. It means that they get to throw all of their punches first. Now, in order to do a tackle, you have to be next to a player, obviously, but you're only allowed to do one tackle that isn't on the player that you start next to. So these players can all get tackled because they're adjacent, whereas these players would have to be run into, and that would be called a blitz. And you'll see when the blitz is happening because there'll be the lightning bolt symbol above them. So, well, the ball is behind them. He has picked it up. Their lone lineman. Meanwhile, we've got some blitz actioning, which allows them to tackle and move on the same turn if they wanted to do that. That's a bit silly. And my Amazons have an ability called Dodge, which means that anytime they would fall over from a stumbling move, they don't. They just get pushed. Okay, that's a hit. That's one hit. Fine, you take that. And this one will be a dodge. So the ones on the line do get hit. That's fine. So the first thing to do is make sure that you stand up, and then you'll figure out what to do. Now, when I make a tackle, it will tell me how many dice I'm going to be rolling. So if I tackle either of these players, it will be 2 dice. If I wanted to tackle him, it would be 2 red dice, and if I tackle him, it will be a single dice. And that's a reflection of the overall balance of strength in the surroundings. The players that are adjacent offer their support. You add up 2 strengths and see who is dominant. If you have the majority, you get extra dice, up to 3 dice. If you're disadvantaged, you get 2 red dice, which means that you roll with 2 dice and the opponent actually gets to pick which dice they want. So, what we're going to do first is, I see a great big opening here that is guarded only by a blocker. Now, he has blocked, so I'm going to use my die with blitz. And to increase my chances of it being successful, I'm going to throw in an extra supporting player to increase the strength, which means I get 2 dice on this. And I'm using this person because she has block, so it will counteract that block in case I needed to, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to just push them over like that. Stay in place. Actually, I could have followed maybe. And then we'll just go around the back like this. So we're going to try to minimise the options as much as possible for where their ball carrier is going to go. Next, this person has an ability called Guard, which helps me in this situation. So when there's a player that's being marked, they don't get to contribute to their strength in the normal way unless they have Guard, in which case they are still able to combine together. So we'll strength on him, knock him over like so, and we'll follow up. And we'll do a stun. Just to make sure that this person over here gets no ideas about trying to go around, I'm going to leave this catcher just in a sweeping position like so. It leaves my centre potentially open, but again, I don't rate their chances of getting very far. We're going to turn this into a 2. if I put in the correct support on the over, I'll get to throw a 1 dice. Because he's unsupported, whereas I've got 2 guys. So, at the very least, I've got equal strength going on. And it's a push. It's a push. It's fine. That's 2 reds, which I won't do with her. So, it looks open. There are possibilities, but it means that I'm going really ultra aggressive and going for their ball carrier. So we'll see what they do. Now, when it comes to block dice, there are 5 different options that can come up out of the 6 sides of the 6-sided dice. 2 faces are push, which is the blue arrow, which just means that I push them, or they get pushed 1 square back most of the time. There is the stall, which is just your player falls over and ends your turn. There is a symbol which is a stall and an explosion, which means both players fall over, but that gets counteracted by an ability called block, where if that happens, they stay up. So you notice that I was trying to do most of my tackles with the blocked people, so that just in case that roll came up, my person would still be up and I wouldn't lose my turn. There is an explosion with an exclamation mark, which means that the player would fall over, but that gets counted by an ability called dodge, which, because I'm the Amazons, all of my players can dodge. And normally that player would fall over, the defender would fall over, but if it happens to me, I just get pushed back instead of falling over. Unless, as you saw against the undead team, one of their players has tackle, and then that cancels out dodge. There are lots of things going on here, and then the easiest one is just, you always want to see the explosion, which means it's a knockover without any kind of like way of mitigating that. So you see, all I could do, both players have blocked, so both down wouldn't have done anything because they would have both stood firm, so they just push. Now, they're trying to dodge away from me. You see, they think that they've got an opening on this left-hand side. So, I'm going to have to try to break through there. Now, the Yoda is not very intelligent, so they roll a bonehead, which means they have to roll a 2+ in order for the action to go ahead. But as it is, it didn't work, so that means that he's completely lost all his abilities until next turn, next time he tries to roll. Which means I can actually go around him without having to dodge away. The dodge ability also allows me to re-roll for free the ability to dodge away without having to use one of my own re-rolls. So how am I going to do this? Let's just worry about getting into this ball carrier. I'm going to get a guard in, I think. It's a going for it if I want to do that, really. Oh, I guess I could get there directly, but I don't want to do that. Okay, it's a 2+, so unless I roll a 1, which I don't, I'm fine. And because she's died, it doesn't matter that she's surrounded by lots of these guys, because I can still use her strength to help me with this tackle. Keep going for it, that's a lot of going for it. Let's just try to shove you out the way first, maybe. I've got lots of options that are eminently feasible. I just want to do this in the most efficient way possible. Right. We'll knock you over like this. And we'll use... in there. Okay, so you can see I can either push or I can fall over, which I don't want to do, so I'll just take the push. And I push him onto the side. He's in danger now, because if he goes off the edge of the pitch, he gets knocked out for the rest of this drive, this current procedure of plays, and the audience get hold of him. There'll be a 1-die. It's tempting, because it's not. I won't have a guard in place, but it means that I can go straight in to trying to challenge for the ball. It's going to be some dodges, but again, it's a 2+ dodge. She's got agility 4, and she's got a free reroll on dodges because she's got dodge. So I rate my chances of this. It's fine. But she's covered by him, so she doesn't get to add her strength. But it does mean that I put extra pressure. And then it does mean that I'll just keep you in cover. Okay, let's 3+ dodge, but it's the reroll. No, the dodge fails. So that was a 25% chance for that to not work, and I rolled a 1. I rolled a 1 on the dodge, so that was a fail. And why didn't let me do the reroll? I should have been able to reroll that. Unless I've already used it. I might have used it without realising earlier. But it's fine. Because that ball carrier is still heavily marked by my catcher and isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So this is where I try to explain what's going on whilst trying to concentrate on winning the game. So my aim here, my aim is I want to score as many touchdowns as I can to try to get the lead in the table, which means I'm going to take some extra risks that I might not do normally. But if they come off, then I'll score more touchdowns. Hopefully against the AI, who have not won the match or got a single point yet, the win should not be in doubt by the end of this match, but it's how many I can score. Now, everyone hates these Amazons because, like this, I can keep dodging, so the chances of me falling over decrease from 1 in 3 to 1 in 6 in most normal situations. So my plays are hard to put onto the floor. Okay, here we go. They're running into what appears to be open space that they can guard, but really all it means is that it puts them into danger because I've got all of these players to tackle him. He's about to get downed on. The other thing that isn't necessarily a quality of the Amazons is that I've been avoiding injuries for the most part this season, apart from the one player that died. What happens is, if someone gets knocked over, then they roll an armour check, which all of my Amazons have a value of 7, and then if they fail that, then you roll again to see what injury they get. And so far the injuries have been extremely kind to me this season. So the first thing to do is get you up, because if you fail a roll, then that ends your turn immediately. So you want to do the lowest risk options first and the most important ones. So when they're on the ground, they can't do anything, but it's a free move to get them back up. If your player falls over and they're not back up, tough luck. So you get them back up first. And that is a 1 dice block. It would be nice because it means I can push them off the pitch, but there are more important things right now. Okay, I can't do the both down because of who it is, so I just have to push. And I do get to follow. That means that you now get to have a go. Just chain them together, and this time I do get the knock. So that leaves 1, 2, 3 players to gang up on this die. And choosing who I use to do it. Right, she stopped block. So I want to also help direct which way this is going to go, so we'll take it on this side. And that is good enough, because that will knock you over and cause you to lose the ball. And the ball goes over there, so that's fine. And what we'll do is we'll just put you there to help gather the ball in case she drops it. Then it means that someone else might pick it up. And we're going to do something a little bit audacious, because sure, why the heck not? You've got agility 4. You're currently marked, so you'd have to do a 3+ dodge away plus some of these going for it if you wanted to score this turn. But you know what? Let's well, we'll dodge away first. Haven't used my reroll yet, so try going in another square. Then I get you to pick up the ball. We'll run you up closer just to reduce the distance that you need to throw the ball. And she has an ability called Pass. A player with the pass skill rerolls the dice if I throw an inaccurate pass. So it's a 3+ to pass and a 3+ to catch, but if I fail the pass, I get a free reroll on it, and if I fail the catch, I have one of my own rerolls to use. So we're going to try for it. And it worked. So there's the first touchdown. Just my line run, which isn't a bad thing. It means that she can get some more experience points for scoring a touchdown. And that took me 3 turns. So let's keep things as we are, and we'll try to do it again. Now, this last human match, they had a chainsaw player as their spendings allowed them to, and because a chainsaw is a banned weapon, well, any weapon is banned. It's a game of Blood Bowl. You're not allowed weapons. After the end of that drive, any player with a weapon would get sent off in this situation, but not today, because they don't have the player. But we're going to keep the same formation, and we'll see if we can do the same thing again. Now, this time they've gone for a slightly more, well, I'd say a conservative style approach with players not quite on the front line. So this time I'm going to try to kick it here, somewhere in the middle. There's always a stutter on it. Okay, so here we go. I get a free bonus turn, but players in an enemy tackle zone may not do anything. So these 3 are all marked and can't do anything, but I get a free attack, which is great, which allows these people on the front line to kind of be in place to try to catch the ball straight away. So what we'll do is we'll get everybody up first, which means the thrower, and then we need to get 1 block in. We'll get 1 block in on you to clear the path. Which is a push, but that's enough. because they're not out. Ooh, it's a dodge. It's a dodge. I don't know if I want to do that or if I actually just want to get you to land where the ball is going to drop. So I'm going to try to actually catch my own kickoff, which I was not expecting to do. And I'll use you to try to do some go for it in a bit. So go for it is a 5 in 6 chance, but if you fail the roll, then you fall over. So my players have, generally speaking, the movement range of 6, but you can always try to draw in an extra couple of squares at the risk of having to roll for it. Now, it also means that I can get some of these players up further than they would have normally been able to. So we'll put a fair bit of pressure on this third guy here, and then we mark you. And then we'll see if I need to make some rolls. Okay, one's fine, and we put you onto there, just to get marked by that catcher. So everyone's moved, and I'm going to see if I can catch the ball. So, wow. Let's see if they can do anything about this, because this is a big stroke of fortune. Now, it does mean that obviously they've got all of their backfield, and I'm relatively unsupported. But at least I have the ball and they don't. And I haven't even used any of my rerolls yet. So you are only allowed to use 1 reroll per turn. But with judicious decision making, you minimise the risks. So my player here, she has dodge, it gives her a free dodge. She has catch, so if she tries to catch the ball, she gets a reroll for free without me having to. Zerynthia Marpesia is knocked out, which is a regular occurrence for her. She's on the leaderboard for most knocked out players. No. So she needed an 8 to break her armour. She's got a 9, so she lost that, and then having had her armour broken, it was an injury, plus the fact that an ogre smacked her in the face, so that means that she got knocked out. Now I get to choose what to do here. It doesn't matter either way actually, because that's a blocker, so I'll just take them both down. Okay, so I kind of get surrounded, don't I? Well, if I wanted to pass out, currently that would be a 6+ because there's so many people around. If I wanted to dodge out of the way, it's still only a 3+ because guess what? It's a Amazon trying to dodge away, and Amazons are good at dodging away. No, no one else is in range of scoring a touchdown this turn, but if I want to pass that, it's still 6+. Okay, so I'm going to dodge out of the way and maybe maybe throw you the ball. But first of all, again, low risk plays first, so make sure you stand up. Everyone who's down and can get stood up, stand back up. And then just in case this does go wrong, make sure that everybody else moves first. Am I going to blitz? They're going to be dodging and doing things like that, so this blitz is free. Oh, so go for it if I want to do that. Okay. this is a 2 dice block, so that's fine. And both players are blocked, so I can take them both down on that. We'll put you like this, just marking here. And we'll see how badly this backfires. Okay, so first of all we blitz. It's a catcher, so they have dodge, so this actually just turns into a push rather than a stumble. But that's fine. And we followed that up. Then we'll see how this works. Right, you've also got an agility upgrade. See, I managed to roll some upgrades earlier on, and giving an extra agility point means it's only a 2+ to have to dodge. So we'll make sure you go for it, that's fine. Now, if she drops the ball and it goes out of play, then it gets thrown back somewhere into the play. So at least if I'm on the end zone, then it might fall out the back. If I'm on the side, it might also fall out the side. So I'm not going to stand right at the very back. I'm just going to stand there. And then we're going to see if I can do some more dodges. And then I throw the ball on the 4+ pass, which is only a 50-50. Okay, which I need to use a reroll. And she has her catch ability, so it's another touchdown. Yeah. And that only took 1 turn. So I've got another 4 turns to try to score more touchdowns. Let's keep going. This is so much fun. Right, for some reason... Oh, I've had the play knocked out. My linewoman with block got knocked out. So in comes Therese Camilla. Do I want her? Oh, I'll put in Tess Myrene. He's got another experience point into your next level up, so we'll keep you in. Alright, let's see what you do this time. So actually, let's see. They are keeping this formation. Okay, we'll do this again. Okay, regular roll, the ball is out of play, so it goes straight into the hands of an opposition. Actually, they've given it to over there. Okay. So they've given it to the catcher. The catcher is the main scorer because they can usually run the best and be the most dodgy, so they're harder to tackle. Because they've got dodge, it means that, again, because I don't have anyone with tackle, I need to try to gang up on him and maybe use some rerolls in order to try to get hold of the ball off of him. But most rolls in this game are either these number dice or the block dice. And the aim is, the more rolls you do, the more chances of things going wrong, and you've only got a finite number of re-rolls. So you kind of want to roll as few dice as you can, but I am throwing a bit of caution to the wind and just, I'm just going to keep rolling. Within reason, right? I mean, so far, most of the rolls that I've done have been with players that have abilities that help them in these situations. Now, this is what you call... Well, no, okay. It's sort of what you call a cage, and what we mean by this is that the player with the ball is being surrounded by their own players in what is a cage and the idea is that's going to stop me from getting at him. And to be fair, I'm not immediately about to get into him because he is completely surrounded. And he's going to get pushed. She's going to get pushed out of the way. So this is all a bit of a muddle at the moment. But the yoga has been moved out of the way, which actually helps here. Okay, so the good news for them is that is a solid wall. The bad news for them is that there is no one covering their back. And it would require a number of rolls for me to get there, but I can still make a challenge on them this turn. But first of all, it does mean that I need to get the supporting cast in place. Now, I'll just be careful about this because I need to work out my line. I kind of don't want to. I just want to make sure that I don't block myself with how I do this. Okay. I don't need to use my guard on this because she's not going to be marked by anyone. Still only a single dice because they do have a guy there, which is unfortunate. But I rate my chances. Okay, never mind. At worst, it was going to be a both down, which means that they both stand up because they both have the block ability. The only way that was going to go wrong is if I threw a stall, but it's right. I've got the opening. These are single dice blocks. 2 dice there, 2 dice there. Okay. Neither of you have block, so let's see how this goes. A big smash there. That's a single. Now she is the guard, which is not the right person for this situation because the guard's supposed to help the other people make the challenge. I'm going to get you in early, and we're going to take a long route, which just means that it helps you get open for later if I need you to. Also means that you're putting pressure around this backside. We'll put you in there so that you two are together. We'll have a couple of people in defence like so. So just going to leave Sty the Star Reader just hanging back. Not so much because they're going to go through me, but because it keeps her options open for later for what direction she needs to take, because I am leaving all of my players on the right hand side away, and she might need to run back there in a bit if this goes wrong. Right, let's try this then. We have the 1 dice block. Okay. What's better? That's a 3+ dodge. That is 2 lots of gun crits. 2 lots of gun crits is better. And you know what? I'm going to gamble and we'll re-roll it. Nice. And it's virtually impossible for her to catch the ball when she's surrounded by so many players. But now the ball is a bit more open than it was before. But I don't want you to make the tackle because you've got block, she doesn't, so the odds of me falling over here are considerably increased, and I've already used my reroll, so that's not worth it. So, but yeah, at the core of this is Warhammer meets American football, right? You've got 2 teams of 11 plus subs. The objective is to score as many touchdowns as you can versus the other team, unless you have your own personal objectives, like knocking over as many players as you can, or fouling, or doing other shenanigans like that. If you want to injure as many players as you can, if that's your prerogative. I mean, I know we're also setting up this as a fun league, but my objective here is I want to score as many touchdowns as I can in all of the matches, and I kind of am equipped to do this, particularly with the upgrades, but because of the nature of my team. But oh, that's gonna hurt. But yeah, I want to see how many touchdowns I can score against the AI. So far, all of these are... We haven't had any stuns, really, have we? Alright, this needed a 4+ to succeed. It got a 1 and then a 5, so it has picked up the ball again, so that's annoying. And that Odo really helps with the strength, so 2 knocked overs there does help. And 2 knockovers there, okay. But still no long-term injury. Okay, so we've got a lot of players on the floor. Limited state of this. Okay, so we've got lots of players on the floor, but that's okay, because you'll get back up again. You can get back up again. And then it's a 2 dice block. It's a non-blocker versus a block, but with 2 dice you always back yourself. And it means that I now have the 1 dice there if I want it. Would be nice if I could tidy this up a little bit first. If anyone's in a better situation. No. Just use teamwork. This is the team sack, where I use my marital superiority to get the strength that I need to make these tackles. But even then, no, they're supporting each other, so that's only going to be a 1 dice. So here we go again on the 1 dice block. Okay. Uh, 6+ to catch is not worth it. We'll just leave the ball there. That'd be a 4+ to dodge and a 4+ to pick up, so that is only a 25% chance of working. How many turns do I have left after this? 2. What we'll do then is make sure you're in line so that you can score in without having to worry about rolling for it. If it gets to you, it's not your job to catch, but it's alright. And then we shall actually at this point get more bodies in. That's unfortunate. I've got one reroll left. I'm going to actually take for the down. And she's knocked out. Oops. Okay. So she's knocked out. She's unavailable to the end of the match. Has a chance to recover on each new kickoff. That's where the Bloodweiser babes do come in useful. It makes it easier for you to recover. But it means that every time I score a touchdown or we reach the end of the half, she gets to roll and see whether she comes back into the match on the subs bench or not. But it's also why having the spare thrower is handy for situations like this. Now, for some reason, the AI does like to take its time with taking its turns against me. So it's probably wondering what to do, because getting that ball is, for them, also not easy. I've got two players surrounding it, and each player that I have surrounding it makes it that little bit harder. It makes the roll difficulty a bit harder to try to pick up the ball, and the AI loves trying to pick up the ball. I like picking up the ball as well, because if I have the ball, then it makes it harder for you to get the ball off of me in order to score. But there is a certain amount of risk management. Like, I'm not going to try to pick up the ball when it's a 6+ roll. I'm going to try to pick this up when I have a reasonable chance of doing so. She's got a stun. So she rolled an injury, but the injury means that she only got stunned. If you get a 6 on the injury, that's when you start worrying about major injuries, and then after you roll a 6, then you roll another dice to see how bad it is. If it's like, I think a 10+ on 2 dice, then it's death. Being a surprising amount of kills in this league so far. I think we tallied it up at 16, 17, I think now. Okay, so they're trying to push me out of the way, but they are running out of pieces. So we use the right person for the right situation. They're all marked. I want one of you to be able to pick up the ball. And the die on the floor is actually exactly in the wrong place. Okay, push. But we'll follow up so that you can have a go. I kind of want. I would actually rather have the blitzer do this, because you can be both down, but she's got blocked is up, and it also means that I can blitz. If I blitz, then it means you can tackle and move to your full movement on the same turn, rather than just moving one square. So it means that she can now go and support here. But she's been surrounded by that person, so that's not ideal. also I need to get you out of the way, really. Okay. Okay, they're standing firm, and the ball is still there, so that is unfortunate. Because the idea was I was going to use my agility player to then go and pick up the ball, and then throw it to her, so that she can run in the touchdown. But as it is, you know what? That's actually not the worst situation. 2+ to dodge because she's got agility. Going for it, and actually the pickup could be worse. I'm not anticipating that she can throw it easily though straight away because she is surrounded by 2 people. We'll move you this way. And they're only not very good ones, I suppose. Okay, it's worse than 50-50, but I do have my reroll. Nice. Get out of the way there. Now, there is a chance of an interception. So it's a 3+ on the pass, a 3+ on the catch. So that is only, in theory, 25%. But I do get some rerolls, a reroll. And they have to roll a 6 if they want to get the interception. Which it does. What do you know? Roll that 6. I was hoping. I don't think I've ever managed to score 3 touchdowns in a half against the opponent when I've been kicking. So that would have been something. But that was a lot of dicey rolls there. But anyway, it's turn 8, so they're not going to score. But let's see what they try to do with the ball. But yeah, because he has catched, he's the catcher, so he actually gets to re-roll the attempt as well. First attempt failed, the second attempt managed to get that natural 6. You could argue that I should have kept hold of the ball and just sort of run it in next turn, but I thought I'd try to push it and do it this turn. It's also hard to commentate whilst also concentrating on what moves to make. Even if I'm by myself today, I'm still trying to think about what I'm trying to do whilst telling you exactly what I am trying to do. So, are they going to try to do anything, or are they just? I think they might just be trying to stand everyone up and mark me to stop me from getting that one. I do still have my 1 reroll. They're also doing decent trouble staying upright. They haven't really fallen over too badly yet. But these guys here, still in a precarious situation. I've still got 4 people directly around him. He's going to probably run around here. But that's where my throw is, so I do have a chance of being able to get it back down over there. You are allowed one throw, which is passing the ball over space, and one handoff per turn, which is just passing it when you're adjacent to someone. So it's still definitely possible for me to get the ball downfield, if I get the ball. Okay, he's going for the 1 dice block. We reach 1 block, 1 dice territory. And that works. That's a stun on her, which is annoying because I needed her. Okay, so turn 8, last turn of the half. What can I do here? He's decided to stay there. Which means I just need to worry about how to get the ball. Now, if I do this, this requires a dodge, but it does give me a better chance of getting the tackle in because I've got block. None of these are actually in a much more of a favourable situation of getting in big tackles, so I'm actually... oh, actually... no. Thrower is also open. Okay, so I'm thinking... well, so a player can't blitz and pass at the same turn, on the same turn. But if I put you here, and I'm going to take that risk and use you to have to dodge away, which you do, and then I hit. Oh. And I'm going to hit you over here, and you're going to stay. So the ball is within reach. It means that I've got to actually do a dodge for it again if I pick it up. If I do it with you, you've got to pick it up and then pass it, which is no worse than me having to pick up the ball in the first place. No better than having to pick up the ball in the first place, so I might as well actually just pick the ball up with you because you can't actually reach the end zone. So, pick up. She does not pick up. We re-roll the pick up. She picks it up with a 6. And then we run. And then we see if she goes for it. Which she does! Yay! Archaeo Huntress. And it means that I go in 3-0 at half time. That was the last play of the half. My players decide that they've recovered from the time, which is great. Again, they steal one of my re-rolls. I mean, the Halfling Master Chef just makes such tasty food. And okay, this is their defensive formation. So this is the bit where I try to do something a little bit funky myself, because again, unless they score a touchdown, I only get to do an offense once. So I'm going to overload one side. If you go down one side, you do run the risk of being plugged and blocked up, or you can just use your overwhelming force to bulldoze your way through any blockage that comes up. So against good players, they'll block me, and then when I played against Grimjaw and I had to kind of loop around in order to try to get something done. Here, I back my chances. No, we get the thrower quite far back to field the ball, and the key of this is to make sure that my other catcher, where is she? My other catcher, she's going to be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, she can be another one. So she's going to be within reach of being able to do a handoff. So we have these two back here. If the kick goes deep, then one of them will be able to pick up the ball along here. The idea is that they're going to throw it to her. She's then going to hand this off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's going to hand this off to my other catcher, and they're going to charge down the left. Meanwhile, these ladies are here to create this bit of gap that I need. We're not really so worried about what we're going to do with the ogre on defence, but you can just be in a holding position. Am I going to take you out as well? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. So actually, we'll put this line moving just to hold these two up. She might get pushed around a bit, but it will hold them up. In fact, we just use plain line moving for that. Who's on the bench? My line moving with guard needs to be on the field. Because we need you guarding to be able to use your ability. So hopefully you can push out one out of the way, get the blitzers in to push the other one out of the way, and then we're kind of in. Assuming that all the rules go to plan. Alternatively, I can just do this. So a high kick. Choose one of my players to be placed under the ball, which is over there. It's not ideal positioning, but it's fine. And what we'll do here is we'll use this thrower to try to catch the ball. I suppose you could try to risk trying to fumble it and see how that goes. But what we'll do here is, the idea is you're going to run there. See, a throw would be a long throw. 4+ pass and 2+ catch actually, which isn't so bad. As if I did this, this becomes a 2+ pass and a 3+ catch. She could actually do the entire thing herself here. But first of all, let's just make sure we create the space, because if I do, as soon as I make a false roll, my turn ends. If I move the ball forward but I don't take out their players can do stuff back at me. But if I take out their players first and I screw up with the ball, their players are still down and can't do much, and it just means that I just need to take another turn moving the ball forward. Okay. So then You've got guard, which is actually not the worst thing. Weirdly, there's a really, really big opening. The AI has... it's a bit of a trap because they do have lots of players all around, but this is a very soft formation. So we put the guard in here, and we blitz. And I know that it's 2 dice because it's 2 on 1. It's going to be a 2 dice, so that's fine. I don't want to advance you any further actually, because I kind of need you in support. So actually I will follow up on that. Because, well, what we do actually? Okay, we do this slightly differently. Best plans and everything. If I want to go there, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 later on. I kind of shouldn't have followed actually. I should have left that gap. What we'll do is we'll have a go at this maneuver. You aren't in the play anymore, so you can get pushed forward. No, I can't remember the exact odds of whether this would be perfectly better or not to just throw it straight or not, but I'm okay with it either way. Because you've got pass and you've got catch, so we have rerolls plenty if this doesn't work. So that would be a 3+ catch for you, but it's a 2+ catch for you because you're a catcher and that's your job. Which she did actually need. She used her catch ability because the first one would have been a failure. Catch means that she gets to reroll, which then becomes a success. So she would have, Alkaya would have dropped the ball. And we're going to push you forward because you're going to be guarding. Which means you're in like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can afford to have one go for it this turn. But I haven't used my reroll yet. I could put you in forward 1, but actually, you know what? I'll keep you well guarded. Oh, will I? Actually, you know what? I'll do it this turn. Reroll that. No, double natural 1. Yes, and she's injured. Uh-oh. Adds a niggling injury. We don't want to see that. Miss next game. Sure. Groin strain. Alright. Well. So much for that. Okay. The ball's over there. Who am I playing next week? I'm playing the Bretonians next week. I'm playing 1 player down, but I've got plenty of players. Part of the reason for having such a deep bench is you can take it. And it's fine. I've got my spare catcher. Hopefully I won't get any really bad injuries. I mean, I use my apothecary on not in the knowledge that the AI is probably not going to do any long-lasting damage to me. In fact, you know, I just hurt myself. So it means that they actually get to pick up the ball off of me on my possession. So that will have to be rectified. These players are doing the usual shenanigans, just a little bit of dodge. Okay. So let's get these throwers up. I can't believe that my much planned 2-touchdown reception play didn't quite come off, but it's fine. We just have to adjust slightly. Knock you up. Now he won't want to get up, because if he gets back up, he is going to get surfed into the crowd. The technical term is spin surfed. He's going to get pushed into the crowd, and he's stunned anyway, so that's not going to be good for him. 1 dice. No, they are surrounded. So this is the part where, because I have lost my player, being blocked in the plug hole is not ideal. It's alright, because, hey, look at this, I've got more players. I've got more players coming from the other side. I'm going to dodge away. It's always still a 3+ dodge, and I am a dodge re-rolly type person. So if we put you in here, just check that she didn't need to re-roll that. It means that I can get in. Neither of those. He's going to get pushed up, so that's not great. But it is still early in the half. And then, because she's got guard, she can follow up there, like this. So now he's right against the edge with 2 Amazon blitzers on him with the ball. What's he going to do? And let's just add in an extra person marking. And for the Andromeda Akantha can just well, actually no, you're probably better off trying to dodge away from the ogre than being punched in the face by it. So we'll use you to be a marker and hold these guys up. Okay, they've just decided the situation's pretty bad and aren't going to do anything. No. Do I put you in the end zone first? Well, this ball's going to go anywhere. If I surf, it's a 1 dice. But if I tackle, it's a 2 dice. And it's a both down. So that's alright. That's a 3 move. You wouldn't guard, so you wouldn't help if I put you there because he's there, so he wouldn't. He'd stop her contributions. Alright. We'll try again with the 1 dice. Okay, that will do. We'll push you into the crowd. and so he's not attacked by virtue of that, and the ball is all the way over there. Okay, that's not good. Okay. Right, we need some backup just in case. We'll get you there. Okay, push will do. I need to save my reroll for later on. A bit, because let's see if I get this ball. Okay, we re-roll that. And she does pick up the ball. Now, to throw this far downfield would require a 4+ pass. It then needs 6s on the interception, but these this time wouldn't be the catches, so that would be unlikely. The chances are this pass doesn't come off, but we're still doing it anyway. Because the pass is good. The catch wasn't expected to be good, but I will take that. And oh, see, it's tempting. It is really, really tempting. Right. If I fall over, it's a 2+, right? It's a 1 in 6 chance this doesn't work. But you know what? Let's do it. She's done it. Oh, of course she's done it. Oh well. Oh. If it wasn't the AI, I would not have done that. But that's what you get for trying to do funny stuff. He's bone-headed, so that's no good. I should have known. I mean, it's Zerynthia Marpesia. I should have known she likes being on the floor. Okay, no, rather than take them both down, because that would hurt him rather than me. Just pushed me into surfing range, so I'll have to sort that out. Okay. Okay, she's fine. Needed to 8+ on the arm break, but it was only a 7. So she's stunned, which means that stun as an injury means that you miss a turn. Which means it's left to over here to pick up the pieces. And I have used up both of my rerolls now, which is annoying. But they are in no danger of getting the ball either anytime soon. So although I'm out of range, so are they. Kind of don't necessarily need to get her back up. She's kind of better just having a break. Just get the both down. You use the both down first because for that situation, if that was a both down and Anaya did it, then she would have fallen over. We'll then sort out over here. To make sure that it's safe from the surf. And we actually get Alkaya. Actually, you can probably blitz, right? Full blitz. Ooh, do a big hit there. And then we'll get you there. It's only a 1 dice with her, so let's get the person. And we'll stay. No long-term injuries. Okay, and a push. Yeah, so I'm not going to actually pick her back up because she doesn't need to get hit. Kind of need to keep her standing up. Because every time you get hit, you run the risk of getting another injury, and I've already messed around with my injury now. I've got my player missing its game. I liked her. Well, I still like her. She's still alive. It's present tense, but she is my star catcher, and she is leveling up to level 3. But she won't be playing in the next match. It's fine. I mean, got 3 matches left of the season after this. It just means that she can't play next week. Also, given that Roth, my next week's opponent, has a penchant for like attacking as many players as he can, even in unlikely circumstances. Maybe it's best that she mixes the next match. Okay. My brand new thrower can go on the floor. That's okay. Right, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to see if I can get Evadne the touchdown, because that will mean she levels up. So we'll stand you up just in case, because if she drops the ball, then there is a slight chance that it might fall into her hands instead and still result in a touchdown for me, which would be hilarious. So first of all, you don't need to get up because you're surrounded. Now do you, because you're surrounded. But I will take a free shot. Will I? You got blocked, so I'll take a free shot at you. Like so. Alkaya can also join in on fumble recovery. And Evadne the Beautiful scored 1 touchdown in her debut last week. She's caught the ball and she scores a second, which results in a level up, and it's in So that took 4 turns. It took at least 1 more turn than I would have liked. 2 was pushing it. I was hoping to try to score a 2-ton touchdown with these Amazons, but if I can score another one, then that would be good. I got a few turns left. Oh, there's a 5-turn touchdown there. Right, it means I've got a few turns left to try to do something with this. Now, I've lost one of my catchers, so just need to check who's up. My blitzers are still where they're meant to be. Thrower's still here, catcher, and extra linewoman who wasn't in the team before. So we should do this. And they've gone for the same formation. So we're going to just kick it into the middle. None of my players have the kick ability, which reduces the uncertainty of where these kicks go, so I just want to keep it in play. Which it kind of does. It's not a beat matter, so it means he still has to have a go at picking the ball if he wants it. Does mean that I can't afford any more bad rerolls. Okay, they're squaring up. They decided to leave the ball for the catcher, I suppose. Okay, they've just decided to go for the all-out frontal assault. But with guard, I want to go for the reroll and dodge. They've got plenty of rerolls, I suppose. This is a bit where I can almost imagine like the AI like being salty right now, and just being like, I'm just going to kill these Amazons. Darn it. But that works. So, unfortunately, I can't get through because they are one square too far away, and there are a couple of people in the way of me trying to do it with these guys. But it means that I can at least just still get right up there. Not going to mess around with the dodgy go for it just yet, because don't have my reroll anymore. So make sure that we do the right tackles first. So we'll start here, block and block is fine. And we'll push the ogre out of the way whilst we're at it. So you shovel them back. They always try to find an empty space, but if there's no empty space, then you get to shove people out of the way. And because you're the guard, you're not necessarily the tackler. Okay, push will do. Meanwhile, let's do a looping run here. So that I can get this blitz off. Yeah. Put you there. which means that I can run around the back like this. And we'll put the pressure on here. So this is just full-on blitz. I'm leaving no one behind. And now we use the go for it. Just to make him really think about trying to have to dodge away. One dice block, but with no rerolls. I'm actually going to leave you to be dart. So because I'm marking him now, he'd have to dodge away, or try to do something with the ball, or try to support him. So he's not in a good position. And I've got all these hungry Amazons waiting to take him down. They're going to have a go at least knocking these guys, these ladies over. That they are open for that. Okay. So the best he can do is blitz, but it's 2 stalls. Both down is fine because they both have block. And now the AI is thinking, now what do I do? Okay, he does get the dodge. And he's going to cage. Now see, because it's the AI, really you should pick up the Yoda first. All these dodges, what is this? Like, it should be me that does these dodges. So this is the classic cage, everyone in the corner. It's better than being in the cross because when you're in the corner you can always duck into the corner, whereas here I'd have to weave in between 2 players. Okay, so that is a nicely sealed off cage. So I'm not going to be able to get the ball this turn. Instead, what we'll have to do is see who's where. 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to leave it up. You're not going to be getting the ball, so I'm actually going to leave you in a potential catching position. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in case on turn 16 I manage to get hold of the ball and can do something with it. Meanwhile, we've got to figure out how to do something about this. Which will probably mean having to come in through this corner because I've got these 2 ladies here. These 2 are kind of sealed off by the fact that there's a couple of guys here and the Yoda on this side. Unfortunately, this is my weaker side because none of these have block. They've got Blitzer over here though, so I can use them. And neither of these are going to be guarding, so we're going to use this as the way in. Still no sign of major injury. I think if we put these ladies in support, so if you're going to be guarding with block as well, you can be useful. I put you there. We get you in like so. Just really seal all of this off as much as possible. And it's tempting. What's my foul chance? 8 plus 2 on 2 dice to get a foul. Because he's going to get back up. Should I go there and do it? That's a 9 plus because the die is marking. But she might be useful for trying to get a hold of the ball. And because there is still an outside chance of me getting another touchdown, I'm actually going to do that with you instead. Going to leave you there just because when they get up, there is a potential space opening up. So we do that with you, and then this is just a free 1 dice block, which is special, so sure. Alright, they've got 2 turns left to do something, but I've got 1 turn left to try to get the ball off of them and score another touchdown. It's actually a disappointing half at the moment, so I've only scored 1 touchdown. Given that this was my half to receive the ball. Be a bit of an anticlimactic finish. The first half was dramatic, but yeah, we need 1 more big play to come off, I think. The play with the ball is the catcher with dodge as well, so it's going to be hard to get the ball off of him, particularly because I don't have my rerolls. And also there are lots of players here. This is a bit of a mess, so picking up the ball is not going to be easy either. This is a bit where the AI spends 2 minutes deciding what to do, when if I was playing Blood Bowl 1 this would never happen. This has only been a problem that I've ever had in Blood Bowl 2, that the AI just spends 2 turns not doing anything. It's 2 minutes not doing anything. So they're going to try to at least shove me out of the way. That's a stun, but that's okay because it gets the ogre out of the way. All of these defender downs They're actually getting some hits on me. Not what I want. And she's stunned. They're both down routes. Just he's got the block. And I'm getting all the stuns. I mean, at least they're not proper injuries. Oh my. Another defender. And she's knocked out, but that's excessive my line. In my line woman, she's down again. She's knocked out, but that's alright. So, it looks like the magic dice haven't come through for me here. The AI just deciding whether to throw those one dice blocks. It's not 2 rerolls. But I'm just thinking there's not much of an opening. Ivani's too far away now, really. Then the these blocks are working. They managed to sort of get me in the right position. Right, is there any way I can get hold of this? That's a 1 dice block. And then they don't really have anyone to pick up the ball afterwards. This is a bad situation because she's marked by 2, so be 2 red dice. Can roll it, but liable to end my turn. 2 on her, 2 on him is plausible, but again, we can worry about these afterwards, because it might all not matter if I can't actually even get to the ball. So we'll see how this goes. I think the key is, can I get a 1 dice block off? Which I can. And the ball bounces around, promising. 3 plus dodge, 2 plus go for it, 4 plus pick up, and the ogre is in the way. 3 plus dodge, 4 plus pick up, and same with you. Neither of you is not going to make a great deal of difference which one of you does this. No, it didn't come on. And she's stunned. It's Zerynthia again. She's on the floor. She's on the floor. Oh well. My dodges? The dodge didn't come through to me for me today. The Amazons with their dodge. Good at dodging tackles, and turns out not so good at dodging away from the opponent. So it's a 4-0. Could have been more. But it means that I do get 4 up. Now, compared to Aerosdef's result, which I will show you shortly. So Aerosdef's Dark Elves won 3-1, so that's plus 2 on him. So my plus 4 means that I do go back on top, but I wanted to get a 5-0 on the AI, and I should have done really. I was 3-0 up at half time, and it was my possession this half, but Nuffle decreed that it was not to be. But there are going to be some level ups now. Ivani levels up, My catcher, Anginara, she levels up, but she misses next game. This turn is just, can I make sure that I don't get any injuries on turn 16? Still, these defenders downs, they're hitting me around. Rolling a lot of defender downs. More defender downs. They're trying their hardest to hit, injure me. And drama. She's dead. She's dead. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Turn 15 drama for you. And that's the end of the match. Wow. Okay. So I've got a player missing next match and a dead blind woman who had blocked. I kept her alive in a previous match, but clearly her time had run out. Alkaya does get the MVP, so she also levels up. But wow. Okay. So we look at some of these stats. Didn't have much of the ball this time. Flung it around a bit, which is probably why. 4 passes, 4 successful catches, but just a few crucial rolls not going my way. Blocks down, 60 blocks versus 49 blocks. That's the first time. Been well down on the blocks. Bit of passing and running, that's normal. But yeah, I took a bit of a hit there. Plenty of XP. I mean, of course, you stole 4 touchdowns, you're going to get some XP. So, and MVP for the level up Alkaya there. Dice rolls. Let's just have a quick check at this. So they didn't get many 6s, but they had a nice amount of 4s and 5s that sort of just kept them going. Whereas I had lots of 5s, which is good. Not many 6s. I mean, which is kind of what you want when you're trying some ridiculous plays like I was. But lots of natural 1s today, and that hurt. Some natural 1s at the wrong time hurt today. And we look at the block dice. 15 stalls on my part. That wasn't so much the issue, actually. I just had quite a lot of pushes and not enough defender downs on my part. But that's actually an average set of rolls, so can't blame that. Now, what did they manage to do to me? They had their greater share of successful downs versus fails against me, so that just helps tip the balance on that in their favour. Okay, so what that does to the leaderboard is I can't show you because it's the AI match, so this doesn't get processed until the end of the week. But I will also be on 5 wins and 1 draw, and I will also go top because I've now scored 2 more touchdowns. Well, I've got a touchdown difference of 2 greater than the Dark Elves have, and I've also conceded 1 less touchdown than they have. The human team will be down to 0 and 6. Because it's the AI match, it also means that I can't see how much money I have, but I'm going to have to just have a look at my team. If I can afford another line woman, then I will do so, particularly because I'm missing 1 next week. Suddenly this is going to hurt me, missing a player as well. So we shall see how that goes. We will sort out all of the player level ups next time, because the entire week has to be processed first. But yeah, what a game. That had nearly everything. Passes, ridiculous plays, and that little twist at the end. That was fun. That was some game against the AI. But yeah, we'll close, and we'll just have to wait for awaiting confirmation to see how I can progress later on. So that's this week's matches. There's 1 left for this week. Just show you how it's looking. So as I said, Eve's Ghosts won 3-1 against the Lizardman team. The Rat and Rat action featured yet more brutality for the Rats, and that was a 1-0 for the Rat Kings. And the Undead team, they got a safe 2-0 win. I think it's fair to say there were a few more chances on either side, but in the end, a safe 2-0 win. So yeah, it's tight in the midfield. It's starting to look like the top teams are starting to pull away with only a few games left. But I am next up against the Bretonian team, and they are probably going to be keen to follow in the footsteps and tackle even more of my players. So we shall see how that goes. But until the next time, I will see you on the other side.